Hello everyone and welcome to the Deercast. Today we are going to be talking to you about a really exciting new product we've been using, which are the Harkila HWS Clim8 gloves. Now, as all the acronyms probably suggest, there is something a little bit special about these gloves. So HWS stands for Harkila Weather System. We'll get the boring bit out the way first, in that they are wind and waterproof. They've got very good sort of rubberized palm grips here for holding on to things, a really nice soft inside to keep your hands nice and warm and dry, but best of all, and it sort of gives it away with this tab on the outside here, the Clim8 technology in them basically means that each glove takes a small 9-volt battery like this, which fits into the cuff of each glove here and plugs into sort of what looks like a headphone jack there. That plugs in there and, surprise, surprise, the gloves heat up. You can control the heat through an app on your phone, and you can choose temperature anywhere between 20 and 35 degrees C. What I think is really clever about these gloves compared to a lot of other heated gloves and heated garments out there on the market is that, say you tell the gloves that you want them to heat you to 30 degrees C, that's absolutely fine, that's what they'll aim to do. If the ambient temperature starts to drop, they take that into account and work overtime to essentially make sure they are hitting that 30 degrees. Equally, say you were in a high seat and you then get out and you start walking up a hill, the gloves will sense that your body temperature is going up, so the gloves don't need to work as hard to make sure that your hands are still 30 degrees C, so they'll taper back on the amount of heat they're delivering. Depending on what you're doing, the ambient temperature and how much the gloves need to work, one of these little batteries in each glove will last about 2.5 hours, so plenty of time. If they're set on a relatively low setting, I'm sure they'll last a little bit longer as well. Equally, if they're set really, really high, I'm sure they're probably not going to work as well. I think these gloves are absolutely brilliant. My one criticism of them is that once these are plugged in and once they're working, depending on what mode you've got them set on, this little tab here lights up to tell you that it's working, and it's either blue, purple, or red, depending on whether it's on sort of eco, boost, or normal mode. And that LED is really, really bright. You can go in the app and you can turn it down, but even still, I found, especially if you're out sat in a high seat, you feel a little bit like a Christmas tree with these two little bits here. What I've found is I just put a little bit of sort of plumbing tape over them, and that's completely solved the issue for me. But if I was going to have one plea to Harkila going forwards, it would be to make that either completely dimmable, as in you can switch it off, or possibly, because at the moment it's on the outside of the glove, is if you flipped it round and you put it on the inside of the glove so it was against your body, you'd still be able to see when you turned the glove over to see what mode they were in, but equally, if the gloves are sort of facing you like that, nothing outwards is going to see you. They're not a cheap accessory, so they're £279 RRP. Equally, they come with a good warranty as well, so they should last you a very long time. And to be honest, it's the one part of my body, if I'm sat up in a high seat, that gets really, really cold. But equally, it's the one part that is sort of essential. If I've got freezing cold, numb hands and a deer walks out, I then can't pull the trigger, or I'm going to really struggle to, or I might make a bit of a duff shot. So to me, they're a really good investment. I think as well as wearing them up in a high seat, there's potentially if you're stood out on a shooting peg when you go skiing or anything like that. So that's the Harkila HWS Clim8 gloves. Any questions, pop them in the comments below and we'll do our best to answer, or we'll pass them on to Harkila team to try and answer. As always, thank you very much for watching, and please remember to comment, like and subscribe.